So Curaçao will take on Martinique in the other semi-final at the Stade Pierre-Aliquer. Now, to give you an indication of Curaçao's recent rise, around this time last year, they were ranked at 152 in the FIFA World Rankings. Skip forward a year, and they're now ranked at number 70, ahead of the likes of Norway, Canada, New Zealand, and North Korea. A big part of their recent rise has been down to the integration of Dutch-born players into the national team. So just give you a bit of background context, Curaçao is a constituent country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and they're sort of controlled by the Netherlands. They've got strong ties to that country, and it means that Curaçao have been able to call upon a lot of players that were born in the Netherlands and have family from Curaçao. So if you look at their Caribbean Cup qualifying campaign, they used a total of 25 players across their 6 games, and 18 of those 25 were actually born in the Netherlands, which turns out at a remarkable 72%. Their road to this year's Caribbean Cup began in March 2016, and it was a little bit bumpy to begin with. They kicked off against Barbados in Bridgetown, and despite having the lion's share of possession, they lost that tie 1-0. And only actually qualified out of the first round on goal difference in the end, ahead of Barbados, after beating the Dominican Republic 2-1 in their second first round game. From the second round onwards, they didn't really struggle too much. Beat Guyana 5-2, stuck 7 past a weak US Virgin Islands outfit. And it was at that point that Patrick Kluivert left Curaçao. He left his managerial post to go and become a director of football at PSG, and his assistant, Remco Vicentini, took the reins, and the transition has been rather seamless. He oversaw 2 victories in the final round in October over Antigua and Barbuda in Willemstad, and they then travelled to Bayamon, where they beat Puerto Rico 4-2, launching a comeback after they were two goals down inside half an hour. So overall, throughout qualifying, despite the kind of the hiccup in Bridgetown at the start, it was pretty straightforward for them. They scored a total of 21 goals, which was a record, the most out of any nation throughout Caribbean Cup qualifying. They're quite an attack-minded team. They like to play possession-based football, play it on the deck. They've got a lot of players, as I say, that come from that Dutch culture. So they like short, quick passes. If you look at their general pattern of play, I think they quite like a target man, a focal point in attack. Whether it's Rangelo Janga or Feliciano Azucian, whether it's one of them, tall striker who they can build off, and then get those smaller, diminutive players such as Jarcinho Antonia, Gino Van Kessel, Javaro Nepomuceno, Alson Hoy, Gianluca Maria, these sort of players that can come and support them. So they're quite a nice team to watch, and quite pleasing on the eye. In terms of their preparation for the Caribbean Cup, they've played against Excelsior, Eredivisie club, in November. They drew 1-1. There were a couple of new boys as well into the group in that game, such as Brandley Coas and Kenji Gore as well, whose dad is Dean Gore, who managed Suriname and was born in Suriname. And then they played El Salvador in March and drew 1-1. So that was a decent result for them. They've also got a friendly schedule against Canada in Montreal, which is set for the 13th of June, the same date as when Jamaica play Peru. So that's their preparation. There's been talk that they might add a couple of fresh faces as well to the squad. It was reported that they were after Patrick Van Aanholt, the left back, Dutch-born, and also Jurgen Losadia, the striker from PSV. Both of them have family from Curaçao. So that's just kind of the rumours at the moment. But they might add a couple of new boys to the group. But we'll have to wait and see on that front. This will actually be only Curaçao's 3rd appearance at the Caribbean Cup. They qualified for the inaugural edition in 1989 and finished 4th. Their best finish to date when they were represented as the Netherlands Antilles. That dissolved in 2010. And they also qualified in 2014 as well, but lost all of their games to Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba and French Guiana. So this is kind of new territory for them a little bit. And I'm sure they'll be very, very excited for their semi-final against Martinique, the French overseas department. Now, Martinique will be hosting this tournament like they did in 2010. They won the Caribbean Cup in 1993, so it's been a little while since they lifted the trophy. A year later, they finished runner-up, and they finished third place on 3 occasions, and they finished fourth on 1 occasion. So it has been a little while since they've lifted the Caribbean Cup. Just like Curacao have kind of integrated some Dutch-born players, similarly Martinique have integrated some French-born players into their squad. So they used a total of 24 players in Caribbean Cup qualifying, and 10 of them were born in France. So that's 41%. Qualifying for them was pretty straightforward. They won on an aggregate score of 17-2, which is quite amazing, really. They only conceded 2 goals. That was the best defensive record out of any nation. So you've got here a semi-final clash, which is pitting the team that scored the most goals in qualifying against the team that conceded the least, which kind of makes for an intriguing battle. Some of the mainstays in for the Martinique team throughout qualifying have been Sébastien Crétinoir, the captain. He played in all 6 qualifiers. The left-back Antoine Jean-Baptiste also played in all 6. Nicolas Zaire, Daniel Haril, Jean Nedra, Kevin Olimpa, Julien Faubert, formerly of West Ham and Real Madrid. They featured frequently throughout qualifying. Players to watch, I suspect that Kevin Parsemain will be called up. He's a lethal striker, very, very prolific. He's just finished the domestic season in Martinique. He's scored 32 goals in 24 games for Golden Lion. And he did an interview recently. And he actually said that there were some 4th and 5th division teams in England that were showing an interest in him. But he apparently rejected them because he said he wants to play in the #1 championship. In whatever country it is, he wants to play in the #1 championship. So he plays in the top league in Martinique at the moment. He recently played in the DR Congo, out of all places. And before that, Seattle Sounders supporters watching this will know about Parsemain's name, because he was scouted by them at the Super Draft, and he did really well for them actually in pre-season. However, he picked up an injury, kind of the story of his career, and he fell away and was eventually waived. But Kevin Parsemain is a key player for them. So too is Stephen Langille, who scored a total of 4 goals throughout qualifying. He made his debut in March 2016 when Martinique began their Caribbean Cup qualifying campaign against the British Virgin Islands. And he's a very quick, very pacey winger, who can cause some problems on the counter-attack. And they've also got Jordi Delem as well, who's only 24. He's played over 30 times for Martinique, including an appearance in the 2013 Gold Cup. And he's been getting a chance in MLS as well with his club Seattle Sounders, but as a right back, interestingly, because he's nominally a defensive midfield player, plays at the base of midfield, but he has been playing at right back at Seattle Sounders. Whether that will transfer into the national team, that'd be quite interesting to see. Usually Nicolas Zaire plays at right back for Martinique. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting semi-final. What intrigues me is that there's match winners in both teams. For Curacao, they've got a strong spine to the team. When everyone's fit, there's a strong spine to the team. You've got Eloy Room in goal, Cuco Martina or Dowell Lapman in the heart of defence, ideally both. Although they both missed the final rounds due to injury suspensions. But if they're both fit, they're in defence. You've then got Leandro Bacuna, Kemi Augustian, in midfield. And then, as I said before, one of Djanga or Zusian, or maybe even both together in a 4-4-2. And then those quick wide players like Antonia and Nipo Maceno can get up and down the pitch. And then Martinique, they have Parsemain, Langille, players that can make a difference to the team. So both of them have got match winners, and I think it's going to be a quite a high scoring game, I think. But for me, in terms of a prediction, I think Curacao will win this one. I do, and I can see Curacao progressing to the final. And you know, I might not be popular because this is obviously a Jamaican YouTube channel, but I think that Curacao, and I'm going to be bold here, I'm not going to sit on the fence. I think Curacao are going to win their first Caribbean Cup next month. Okay, I think they're going to meet Jamaica in the final and beat them. I just feel that this year is Curaçao's year. They've been a rising force, and on their day, you know, when they've got everyone together, they're a very, very good team. Lots of professionalism, lots of experience, and as I said before, the Dutch influence has been fantastic for them. So I think Curaçao are going to win their first Caribbean Cup on the 25th of June. And it will be fascinating to see how they and all the other Caribbean representatives do in the Gold Cup, which will kick off in July. So let me know your thoughts on my prediction. Do you think that that Curaçao are going to win it? If not, who do you think is going to lift the title? Who do you think is going to go to the third place match? For me, I think it will be, you know, French Guiana and Martinique in the third place match. Martinique will finish third and French Guiana fourth. So my final standings, I think Curaçao first, Jamaica second, Martinique third, and French Guiana fourth. Do you know, contribute your comments in the comment section below. Let Simon know. Let me know. You can find me on Twitter at Caribbean Football, football abbreviated to FTBL. My website is www.thehomeofcaribbeanfootball.com. I'm also on Instagram and I'm also on Facebook. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I hope to chat with you again very, very soon. And let's hope for a really, really good, fun, exciting tournament. Again, Caribbean Cup, 22nd to the 25th of June at the Stade Pierre-Alicaire in Martinique's capital, Fort-de-France. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out and goodbye.